What's up guys, your boy Connor. We're out here in the super duper secret spot, finishing up the video for the fog lights, the auxiliary lights, or in reality the 7-inch headlights that we put on the bike. So far so good. I was really hesitant at first when I saw them. I wasn't really sure, but we decided we're gonna run them anyway. And I did like the way they looked, but out of the box I was, this might be a little bit too much. But they've been well received. It's definitely different. Again, the wiring, it's fairly straightforward. If you are a little bit on the fence, have a buddy come over, help you, kind of just be there, help you shoot the breeze, and if you run into any problems, they can step in or just kind of watch them if you're really on the fence about it, but you can definitely do it. And I think what helped was a lot of times I'll just kind of jump and figure it out as I go. But with this, I wanted it to look clean, and we'll dive in a little deeper. There was a mistake that we did make. It's not noticeable, but it's something that I kind of kicked myself in the butt about, just because we went through all the time. We laid it out how we were going to think, kind of a plan of attack. Okay, cool. Before we even take anything off, we said this is the wiring, this is how it's going to go, this is where the leads are going to go, headlights. And then we took the tank off, we took the seat off, and then we relayed everything out, said cool, this is where it is. We figured out where we had to cut, what we were putting together to shorten lengths, etc. And then we cut it, soldered a bunch of stuff together, and then we relayed. So we kept on revisiting and relaying out the wiring and the plan that we had, and that way we didn't run into any hiccups and start scrambling. Your brain starts jumping around like, oh no, you hit this hiccup, oh, your OODA loop's back messed up again, you got to figure it out. So we're trying to avoid that, and we were doing well. And then on one of the portions of this front right, that we put the wrong size heat shrink. We didn't plan for the connectors. They're pretty much butt connector styles. I don't even know if that's the term, but they were a lot wider than I anticipated. For two of them, it fit over one, but not over both of them, since it was two connectors. So it was just too big. And I tried cutting the heat shrink and then kind of just heating over it, hoping that it would just kind of curl over each other and just shrink over it. That didn't work. So then we tried cutting it again, and then with like a rubber band. And right when it was getting tight, we were gonna cut the rubber band or something like that. But again, it shrinked around itself, opened it back up, and that was because we cut it. And so we just said, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and just put electrical tape. And it's kind of like, shucks. We could cut it again and just redo it and add the proper heat shrink. We're just gonna go ahead and just leave it as is, because it still looks good, but it's not as clean as it could look. Without any more rambling, we're gonna show you a walk around real quick of where we mounted the trigger button on the side left clutch side dash. And I think it worked out pretty well, because it's hidden. If you do see it, it's not so obtrusive and so noticeable. And then how we mount it, we do have zip ties holding some of the wiring on the crash bar. We'll eventually swap those out to black. I just have yet to do so. Then we're gonna do a viewer perspective of how the lights look when you're just kind of looking at the bike. And then we're also gonna do a couple ride-bys with just the headlight on. And then we'll do it with the headlight and the fog lamps on, or the auxiliary lights, however you wanna call them. As well as also what we see from the rider. We're gonna do a cockpit view of riding with them off and then riding with them on. And all the product links are down in the description below. I wanna say that overall it was roughly about $65, $70. So it's definitely an affordable project. If you're looking for a little extra lighting, you go and do so. We ended up doing the same thing with the turn signals for the rear. Those are $7 on Amazon. The links are also down below. So, as we showed in the install video, here are the lights as they sit. See if we can get a little closer. There is the zip tie. This is where I was talking about where I wish I had planned more for the connectors. This is electrical tape, and we still need to zip tie this to the frame, so that way it doesn't really kind of get close to the motor and chance of melting. But it's gonna be rough to see, but it mounts just right underneath the tank. So that's what it looks like from the front with the lights off. And then we move over to this other side, and we'll show you the control here in a bit. Again, this is the clutch side. There's that white zip tie that we will eventually replace. And again, we didn't plan ahead. We got a little overzealous, connected them without even really checking. So we will probably be revisiting that. And here is the dash. This is where the button is, right there. See if we can get a little light on it. Pow! So when you want to turn it on, flick it. The blue LED lets you know that they are on. They're right there. When you're done, turn it off. So this is going to be from eye level. We're just going to do the fog lights first. So that's them. If we straighten out the bike, that's how it looks. Coverage is about 10-15 feet in front with some light coverage 20 feet out. Turn the bike on. That's with the high beam, and these are the 6D turn signals here. Connected. Now we turn this on. There they are. That's all three.
I can't get diamonds so pale, and I'm gonna take you traveling the world. But I can love you. Yeah, I'm gonna love you. I'll give you all of what I've got. The fancy finds, baby, I have not. Just gonna love you. Yeah, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you, babe. Cross my heart and hope to die.
Here is just the headlight on low beam. That's with it on high beam. That's usually how we run it. So, looks pretty cool. It's bright. People can see us. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the fog lights on. Okay, that's actually noticeably brighter, especially here down front. Where here, okay, so we're going to flick it on. So we're going to look at the curb. So that's bright. Now we're going to turn them off and look just underneath the hot spot for the high beams. Let's get above it. So there's low beam. Here's high beam. You can see that there's a circle kind of right here in the center, right? Kind of just below that PVC pipe is where the high beam kicks in. Pow. So now we're going to turn on the floodlights, and you're going to see most of the area between the bike and that hot spot fill out. So it's a giant high beam. So the circle, the hot spot where the PVC pipe just below it, kind of where the dirt starts, and you probably can't even tell on GoPro. So then when we turn on the floodlights, it just gets bigger, and that's also because we're on a hill. So we're going to do it again here on the street. I just wanted to show y'all the brightness compared to distance. Here's high beam. And so now with the floodlights turned on, you have the space from the bike underneath the headlamp. It's a little bit wider. So then you go and turn that off. Pow. Now we're up top. Here is low beam. Here is high beam. Pow. And now we're gonna turn on the floodlights. Ba-doom! So it's definitely elongated up pretty much to where the high beam is. So you have all that even more well lit. You have some on the side that spills over, but not quite a lot. So if you look at it from the bottom, the fork is getting a fair amount of it, but not quite. I thought it might have forecasted a shadow more. What did y'all think? Did y'all enjoy the lights? Are they a little much? Does it look a little off? Drop down in the comment section below what you're currently riding and what your next bike upgrade is. That's gonna do it for today's video, y'all. If y'all enjoyed it, be sure and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and move on over to hit that bell notification to be notified of any future videos when they drop, as soon as they drop. Peace.